Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Manifesting with the Moon. I am here today with Stephanie and Emily. Hello, ladies.
Hi.
Hi.
We are talking about the full moon that is happening tonight, June 10th, 2025. It is the strawberry moon in the sign of Sagittarius. But before we get into that, let's talk about any new moon revelations that you guys had? Anything big come up that you're like, ooh, that's fun. Glad to deal with that.
Stephanie.
I guess my biggest one was the fact that I hadn't realized I'd done so much of the work when I set my intentions. So
Mm.
actually, when I was kind of manifesting this, sort of like getting things in place, and particularly I was talking about a course last time and how to like to do things easily. Um, I was surprised at how easily it did fall into place, almost just by putting the attention into it. It kind of just almost like led itself rather than me pushing. So it was quite interesting for me just thinking almost like not so much what I manifested, but how I manifested. It felt like it was just one step after the other rather than a hike up a hill. So it felt very different. I think that was the main revelation for me this month. How about you?
I love that. That's so wonderful. I think for me, it feels a little similar in like learning how to create balance in my life. And I kind of have been forced to do it, but it's like in the past, in creating balance in my life, I've always felt a little guilty, like having downtime instead of working. And since this new moon, it's like, nope, this is where I'm supposed to be. And just trusting the process and really embodying the fullness of life, of not necessarily feeling like I have to force something. So, have I seen necessarily the fruits from me creating balance in my life? Not necessarily yet, but it's just since the new moon, and I'm starting to really just feel more in my body, which feels really good.
That's very nice. Yeah, I don't, the new moon was nice. Sometimes it's like that for me. There's no big hits, no big deal. I was glad that I wrote down what I was like trying to let go and set intentions around because I also noticed them falling into place, but I'm not sure if that was just because I actually wrote them down and I remembered what I did. Either way, it was good.
Yeah. So for you, does this process of writing it down and almost externalizing it, do you find that this is helping you? Do you think in your manifesting?
I think so because I do know that I am a very, well, in human design, I am a passive, like, look at the big picture type situation. So, vision boards don't really work for me. If I like hone in on specific details on anything, like if I'm like, oh, I need to make this much a month or I want this many followers or something like that, I have a really hard time like grasping that. So
Mhm.
sitting back and having the big picture and like just setting this intention and then forgetting about it, I find that it works a lot better for me. It's a very lazy way of manifesting. That's why I think of myself as I felt like I'm a lazy manifester. Like I'm just like, this is what I want. Okay, I forgot about it. I guess maybe it'll happen. So having it written down so I can look back and be like, oh, hey, look at me. It's really good.
Yeah.
I think there's something too, also like manifesting and not wanting it because the universe will give us what we don't want. Do you know what I mean? Like if you have this glass of water and somebody's offering you one, you're already like, I got it already. But the abundance is there. Versus if we're in that constant state of like, I'm dehydrated, I'm thirsty, I have no water, I need, and there is no water. You're kind of like you're telling the universe what you need, and they're like, great, you need it. Okay, we'll keep you needing it because that's what you want. Do you know does that make sense
Yeah.
to you?
Oh, yeah. The universe does not like desperation. Okay.
No.
It is not down for any of that. It's like if you look at the law of polarity, right, you need that balance. If the law of attraction is all about magnetizing something, like the opposite of that is repelling something. So if you're desperate, the universe is like, whoa, whoa, why are you so desperate? Just let it go.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. So I think it's a powerful way that you're manifesting.
It works for me. And I'm down with it because I'm a flowy kind of person anyway. So,
Hmm. I love it. So good. I think there's a lot for all of us to learn from that.
Yeah. I'm more than happy to put in a bit more flowy type of being bit more of a flow type of person, Christy. I'm up for that.
Me too. That's exactly what's
good.
being called of me right now. So
Well, good because I feel like I'm a good person to anchor that in because I'm always like, boys, it's not that deep. Let's not argue over who has to do the dishes. You both have to do it. It's not that deep.
I love it.
Shall we get to the full moon?
Yes.
Are you guys ready for it?
Yep.
Okay. So the full moon is in the sign of Sagittarius. How does that make you guys feel?
So for me, Sagittarius is kind of like a bit like Father Christmas. So it's all about fun, and I always think about it as a bit of overindulging. Like most Sagittarians I know, they love a party, or they love entertaining, or they love meeting up and socializing and being with friends. So I guess for me, if the moon is in that energy, this feels like a big party, which kind of feels appropriate given that the solstice is also in the month of June.
I love that. The word that came to me was playful. It's playful.
Very nice. I like both of those because it's a strawberry moon. So it's fun. Strawberries are fun little fruits. Very juicy, very tasty, very luxurious, right?
Very cute. They're just
It's just,
cute.
they're so cute.
So I was reading
Absolutely.
about it. I was reading about it, and apparently it's called this because this is when they used to gather the wild strawberries at this time of year. But I don't know what the wild strawberries are like with you, but wild strawberries here in the UK, they're tiny, 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 weeny. So I was just thinking that's a lot of effort to go and harvest all of those little wild strawberries, isn't it? Whereas compared to now, I always think of strawberries as big and bountiful and kind of, and juicy and ripe. And there's a lot to be said about that and thinking about a full moon, don't you think? That ripeness?
Absolutely. And I also think about with Sagittarius, I mean, um it's associated with Chiron, the centaur, right? So he's this very famous archer in Greek mythology. And so you're focusing in on that ripeness, right? You only have this like very short amount of time where you have this urge to focus in on gathering those little bitty teeny tiny strawberries that are so ripe. So it's like honing in on a goal or intention almost.
Mm, I like
That
that.
sounds good.
Yeah, I like that. It's a short period that they're ripe before they turn. So,
Yes.
yeah, use that time wisely to leverage it. I love that. That's really good.
Mm. So have
Yes.
you started to think about how you're going to manifest or what you're going to be manifesting this full moon, Christy?
Let's see. I wrote this down because I have to write everything down. I want to I want to focus on my creativity. So one of the things that I said I wanted to do with the new moon was to go back through all of my courses that I've gotten over the years because I'm a serial course purchaser apparently. And so I
Me
was
too.
like,
I
so I
got
was
a
like,
lot.
yeah, it's kind of a thing, right? So I was like,
Right. Mhm.
oh, I'm gonna go back through and take an inventory of them and see if they're still available for one, and see if I still have access and just kind of see where I'm at. And I came across, well, I didn't have as many as I thought, so I was pretty proud of myself with that. I just inventoried them last night, so I was like, I have to be held accountable for this video. And two of the courses that I had were these really fun courses I bought them in 2020, I think, and they're just,
Wow.
yeah, I know. They're like art courses, like creativity courses with this lady who she kind of gives you prompts on how to journal. She has like a very different art journaling technique. And I was like, oh, that feels really good to like kind of do one of these 30-day challenges of going into looking around your house. It's called The Homebody Journal by Alyssa Burke. I'll link it down below. And you kind of just go through this course and like look around your home so that you can kind of appreciate what is surrounding you. And so I think that this month I'm like, I want to be more intentional with my creativity. Like I get in creative ruts where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna write, or oh, I'm going to I say like make reels or videos, but I don't really do that. I have grand ambitions, but I'm like, I want to be more creative in different areas. So I kind of want to see what pops up with that.
So good. I love
Hmm.
that. I
That
love that.
sounds great fun as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So
Very
we'll see how that goes.
I can't wait to
good.
hear. So I've
Thanks.
been started 10 days ago, actually 11 days ago now. I started a joy journey because I realized that I was just kind of going through the mundane activities of life and I had lost a sense of joy. And that's like part of what I'm talking about is finding balance and embodying like a balanced lifestyle. And so every day I have this intention, it's similar to what you're talking about, of finding joy and doing something specific that it could be anything from taking a nap to training my dog to um, yesterday, Joy came to me. A neighbor brought me some fresh flowers. And so it's
That's
fascinating
lovely.
how I've been very intentional to seek out joy in my life. And now joy is being brought to me. And so I think for this full moon is just to continue on. I've made it a challenge, a 30-day challenge, and I do shorts on my Instagram about every day what I've done for joy, the intention that I put it out there, and what I did and how it's making me feel. And so I think for this full moon, it's just continuation of me. I feel like I'm really going through this evolution or this. I'm evolving and I'm shifting my identity. I'm really like removing the facades that I've been living of me, and really diving deep into my true essence and living her, scary as it is, feels really scary. I never really fully lived her, and I feel like it's time. So it's starting small, and the joy journey is part of it. And so for the full moon, just allow the next layer of the facade to drop off of me that needs to come off as gentle
That
as
sounds so good.
possible.
I love
What a
that
great
because,
idea, though. Joyful June. I love it.
Oh, I
oh
love
yeah.
that. Joyful June. How
Ooh,
cute is
that's fun.
that? So fun. That's a great name. Steph, you came up with it.
It's like a trend every June now.
Yeah, joyful June.
Like that.
I need
Yeah.
to do a post on
And
that.
well, and also now you can just carry it on into Joyful July. You can just
Exactly. I know. I'm like, I wonder if I'll just keep this as like a 360.
I think it's a good idea. I think that, people talk about gratitude and, oh, you got to be grateful for manifestation and attracting, and it's absolutely true. But I think it's something that we kind of tend to forget to do every once in a while, especially when everything is going so well. You like feel grateful, but you don't maybe say it
Mhm.
enough. So I think that's really important.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds really good.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Steph, what are you doing? What are you doing for this full moon?
Well, this full moon, one of the main things I am really going into is about myself and looking at right. So I've signed up to a program called The Woman Who, and it is basically about the next level self. And the reason I think that this is perfect as well for me to kind of focus on this in the full moon is because I can let go of who I was and step into the person I've become as well as becoming. And one of the things that it talks about is about what we were. That, it's so easy. And what I was thinking was after lockdown, it was so easy, just, we're working on screen, just to stick sort of like sweatpants on and a t-shirt and just show up at the computer and work. And we were working. But actually, it doesn't do anything for how we feel. And we forget that, there's so many things to do with when we're manifesting in our lives that we just put up with. Like we put up with the broken cup, we put up with the chip plates, we put up with the t-shirt that's gone out of shape because we've had it for 11 years. But we bought the dog in it, but no one sees us in it because we're online. So nobody knows whether or not we've got the old baggy t-shirt on. But actually, that's our energy. And you know what? We deserve energy that says, I'm not an 11-year-old t-shirt that's out of shape. Because if I'm showing up with an 11-year-old t-shirt, that's who I'm kind of vibrating in that frequency of. I don't want to be vibing in that sort of frequency. I want to be somebody who turns up in, who wears something that she genuinely likes, maybe genuinely likes the color, genuinely likes the shape of it, makes her feel good. Maybe it's got a fun motif on the front. But I don't want to be still hanging on to things that I grew out of a long time ago, but I save it for this doing the animals or taking the dog for a walk. And so that's one of the things I'm really going to focus on. Those areas in my life where I definitely have outgrown, but I'm still hanging on to things. And I'm going to give them a really good clear out. So it's a kind of clearing out, but also of my wardrobe. I'm really kind of focused on maybe my wardrobe just so that I've got something to kind of target it rather than going, I'm going to clear out, I don't know, my house. I'm going to declutter my house. I'm just going to kind of focus, I think, on clothes. So
I
I think that's where I'm going to go this month.
Steph, I was gonna say you look so beautiful today. I love your outfit. I love how you're showing up. You look incredible. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I need to step up my game. So I appreciate you sharing that. Because you're right. You're
Oh,
absolutely
thank
right.
you.
Our clothes do
Well, that was
impact
it.
how we feel.
Yeah, it's things like, why shouldn't I be the woman who turns up with a nice necklace on? Why shouldn't I turn up with the woman who's got bright red pants on? I mean, it's great. It's really, really good. And the funny thing is, I turned up at my daughter's school wearing some bright red linen pants, and she was like, oh, don't do this, don't do it. You're really going to embarrass me. And her friends turned around to her and said, your mum looks great. I thank you.
Oh, I love that. It's so good.
So this is the thing is that even maybe, but they're used to mum who turns up in torn jeans who walks the dog, or them used to mum who turns up in the old t-shirt. This new version, maybe they're just not quite used to the energy of this version, but of course somebody else looking on, they just see who you are that day. So
Mm,
that's what I want to really be embodying a bit more.
beautiful.
So that's it. That's what I'm manifesting.
I love that because I think of the moon, not new moon, full moon as shifting your identity in some way. And it feels so perfect for that, right? Like you don't have to do a big, big shift, but just these teeny tiny shifts to get into your more
Mm,
authentic self it's so important. And you really feel so much more in alignment when you take the time to recognize and be aware of those.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that all three of us are looking to get more into an alignment with our authentic self.
Yeah.
It's what it's
So,
all about.
in Yeah, I wonder whether or not that, we should put or we could put into the thing a little bit of an exercise for people so that they visualize their future self, so
Mm.
that they can work on where they're going so that they can then start to step in. Do you think
Absolutely.
that'd be useful?
Yes.
I think so. I think I actually just read a really good book. I'm interviewing them on my podcast next week, and they had this really interesting exercise in their book called life scripting. And it's not
Ooh.
anything different that you talk about when you're like listening to manifestation classes. But what you're doing is you're looking 3 years ahead in your life and you're taking one day and you're kind of going through those steps of like visualizing and thinking about what you want. But one of the things that interesting that they said in the book was that you have to be somewhat realistic with this. You can't put out there like, I'm going to be making $20 million in 3 years type thing if you haven't like started a business. Or if you
Mhm.
want to go to the moon, you can't like do that if you're not an astronaut, probably. I don't think.
Yeah.
And so they said you have to have it at least 50% achievable in order to manifest it. And I was like, oh, that's such a interesting reframe on the thought of manifesting because it's easy to like say that you want all of these things in your life, but if you're not at least like kind of 50% there, 25% there, you're just gonna have a really hard time pulling that in. You can, but you're gonna have to like really do some serious alignment really quickly. So I think kind of having a more uh realistic point of view on that is really good. So I think visualizing that in a way is really helpful. And I think an exercise would be, well, I would do it, even though I don't like manifest that way. I love writing a story about myself.
Well, maybe I'll have to listen to your podcast and then I'll write something and put it in here.
Okay, yeah, that'd be
Be
great.
perfect. I do have a meditation that I did already on your future self,
Oh,
connecting with your future self. So I wouldn't mind dropping that in here too.
oh, perfect.
So,
That's so helpful. We'll stick that in and we'll have the links for our Patreon membership in the description below. So if anybody wants to go over there and catch that recording, we're also going to have the PDFs for the full moon sheet, which you know I had to write down. And then we also have a full moon card spread PDF. Do you guys do uh, like cards or oracle cards or anything for the full moon?
I don't, but I'm happy to start.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay. Yeah. Are you guys into tarot or you just do oracle
I do
decks?
both.
Yeah.
Whatever's calling my name, I'll do it.
I like that.
Yeah. I
I've
must
been
admit, I have a number of decks of cards, but I have it's almost like which one you get called to, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
it's important to have a variety for any
Hmm.
given situation, right?
Yeah.
You can never have too many cards.
No, you can't.
Never, never.
Hmm.
Okay, so here is an interesting prompt from this PDF that is in our moon journal that can also be found over on our Patreon. Okay, what am I manifesting right now? What do you think is in your current auric magnetic field right now that you are manifesting in your life that either you are really super psyched about or you're like, okay, yeah, maybe I would like to shift this a little bit more and move away from that.
I have noticed I am manifesting a lot of powerful women around me.
Mm.
Um, and it is stirring up a lot of things that I know that I need to address, which is to do with I'm not as powerful as them, I'm not as strong as them, I'm not as brave as them. So it's a good, this is a good one. So I know that's definitely stirring up for me. So yeah, interesting.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So
I love that. You're definitely up leveling, Steph. That's great.
yay. How about you then, Kristy? What are you manifesting around you?
Right now, what am I? I'm kind of manifesting chaos a little bit per usual, but I like the chaos sometimes. Um, I we are getting we are putting a new deck on the back of our house. The other one was kind of crumbling, and this is really interesting. When we moved into this house, my husband he's always been very nervous, not any other house, just this house. He's always been kind of like, I just really feel like we should be nervous about water coming into this house. And so he has like water sensors everywhere that he's placed. He's very paranoid about like the sump pump. We have a septic tank and everything. And so they're redoing this roof, and we've had a lot of rain here in Colorado, a lot of thunderstorms, and they ripped off like part of the house because they're attaching it to the house. And they they left and they didn't come back. And so it poured this one weekend. So like water everywhere, like ruined my kitchen. It's like the ceiling is all jacked and
Mm.
everything, and like even went down into the house, like through the kitchen down into the basement and everything. And I said, "Have you been low-key manifesting this for the last 3 years? Is that what's
Mm.
going on? You've been so paranoid about water." And so I've been thinking a lot about water and destruction, and I don't know. I don't know how to interpret that. But I'm obviously manifesting it, which is also like manifesting me needing to be patient as I'm sitting there looking
Yeah.
at my ceiling caving in. Like, it's
I am
okay.
so
It's not that
sorry.
big of a deal. It's okay. I mean, these things happen, right? And in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal. But I'm like, there's something the universe is telling me here, but I'm not quite sure what it is yet. I just have to wait and see what
Right.
it is.
Yeah.
So, but it's a
That's
really
an
sunny today.
amazing, amazing attitude you have. Not a lot of people would be that way.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
you're
I
very
mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
right now I am. There was a moment last week where I was like, what is happening? But I mean, it's all good, right? Like, we're
Yeah.
still safe. We're still safe. I'm glad that it's summer, not winter, because
Right.
man, that would be really cold.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe there's somehow you're not manifesting a new kitchen by inadvertently, are you?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Didn't you remodel that kitchen when you moved in too, or
I
not?
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like it's over the dining area type thing, but I mean, yeah, there's something like in 2 years I'm gonna be like, that's what it was. But it's just not
Yeah.
popped up yet. But I feel like it's probably something to do with water. Maybe I need to be more flowy, even more so.
Yeah. And I don't, I mean, I just keep getting that your husband manifested this. So maybe
I,
it was you manifesting it, your husband,
it
by
was totally him. It
focusing
was,
on the fear of having water damage to the house, he created it. Because
I
whatever we
know.
focus on, we get. So maybe it's not necessarily a lesson for you. It's just more a lesson for your husband.
That's probably true. I'm gonna absolutely just shift that over to him
Yeah.
because now he doesn't have to worry about it anymore.
It happened. It's done.
Yeah.
All right. Let's now
Yeah.
check that the house is safe and protected. And that's the
Yeah.
one thing is really like being aware of our thoughts. And like if I was to have that thought, I would immediately go, I cancel, delete that. And I think I will say, my house is protected. My house is protected. My house is protected. And I say it 3 times. So I'm constantly, because we are wired to have fear. We were just talking about this, the fight or flight,
Hmm.
right? Before we started the recording. And it was like, so when that like fear shows up, it's like, wait, whoa, I don't want that. What do I want? I want the opposite. So,
Mm.
I think it's very important to know that as you are getting more and more in alignment, which all of us are because of just everything that's going on in the universe, you start manifesting things faster and you don't even necessarily have to like verbally declare it to the universe. Your
right.
soul is just like, guess what? Guess what I got for you? So you have to be even more aware of your thoughts as you go further on this journey.
Yep. Because manifesting good or bad, whatever our thoughts, I think what is it, 16 seconds of staying in that thought, you're aligning with that to come, whatever that thought is to come into your life.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's almost like
16.
it then turns into a highway. Instead, it's literally like a track. The first time you start thinking it, it's just like walking through the grass for the first time. By the time, like you say, I think it's 16 times, it's a highway. So basically, it becomes a thought that feels strong and easy rather than you're still navigating it.
Mm,
It's incredible, really, isn't it? How powerful our minds really are.
so powerful.
So powerful. If people only like knew, they would not do the things they do or say the same things they say to themselves. So
Oh,
bad.
100%. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
All right.
I often think about that image that you once told me about, Emily, about the talking to the glass of water. I still think that that's, so powerful that
Mhm.
what we say and what we create, if it can affect water, it can affect us.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, Emily, what are you manifesting right now? What are you currently manifesting right now in your life?
Well, what I've been finding is I've been bringing in a lot of joy, a lot of friends, a lot of just that's what's happening.
That's
Um,
lovely.
so yeah, like tonight I get to go spend some time with an old friend that I haven't seen in probably 4 years.
Wow,
So
that's
yeah,
nice.
I just keep spending old friends are popping up and new friends and having quality time with people. So that's what I'm manifesting subconsciously. I think my joy journey started that. It started to open up the door for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a great journey to be on.
Yes, absolutely. So
All right, well, I don't know. Do you guys have anything else to add to this full moon?
no.
Not for me. Maybe we all
Right.
should go and eat some strawberries, have big bowls of strawberries and enjoy them with lashes of ice cream and just sit there and remind ourselves of everything that we've brought in for these first 6 months of the year. Maybe that would be a nice way to celebrate this full moon.
I love that,
Yes.
Steph. I'm totally gonna do that.
Yes. So important
It's
to
an
look back.
excuse. Yeah,
I want to find
excuse to
some
go and
wild ones.
yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
That'd be so amazing.
All right. Well, if you guys need the downloads, you can hop on over to our Patreon. There's actually a little sheet on here that Steph did too. What can I celebrate right now? So definitely fill that out. Important part of the manifestation process. Don't forget it. And I guess we'll see you guys on the new moon in just a couple weeks. Thanks for
Wonderful.
joining me, ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks.